Hey, Fernando, my video is disabled.
Eric, great evening. I got you as a co-host. Can you try that again?
Thank you, sir. I was just changing my name here on my Zoom. And looks like we're good. Thank you, sir.
You got it, my friend. It looks like I'm gonna be a co-pilot with you tonight.
Ah, excellent surprise.
Yes, sir. It's an honor.
The honor, my friend, is mine.
Perfect.
And
Well, thank you very much. I mean, I feel thrilled just to know that you and I are going to be having a conversation. And obviously, we're going to let you lead the way because when you talk, I hear, I listen, I pay attention. And all our guests that are here tonight, as a matter of fact, are here to hear our conversation. So welcome everyone. Let us know in the chat what state you're connecting from. What you're about to hear. All I'm asking is that you really pay very close attention to the details. Fasten your seatbelts because we're about to take off. Make sure you don't leave anyone out. So, Mr. Eric Wilner, it's an honor to be here with you.
yeah, and
I
just
do have a
give
Plan
me a
B
second
option.
here. I'm trying to pull up the right PowerPoint. I'm looking that I have an
Sure.
older one.
I do have a Plan B option. I can just click on my end over here if you want me to
Yeah,
do
let's
that.
do that. Let's do that. That way we
Perfect.
won't have as much of an interruption. Thank you.
You, you got it. Well, thank you, my friend.
Teamwork
All
makes
right.
the dream work, my friend.
You're absolutely right about that. Okay. Here we go. All right, just let me know when you see it on the screen, and then I'll do a
Double
projection
click
type
to
of
enter full screen mode. It's still a black screen.
okay.
Now I see it.
Perfect. Now let me do presentation mode. See if I reach it over here. Give me a quick minute. Think it's almost there. Whoa, what happened here? All right, so we're live. As a matter of fact, let me try this again. And it looks like I might have it this time. Mr. Eric Wilner, let me know what you see on your screen there.
I see slide number 1, MWR, Make Wealth Real, the company that we're going to share tonight, where lifestyle and legacy connect, and a whole lot more. In fact, I'll just start off by saying that this has been a really a fun journey that came along, kind of unexpectedly. Uh, I come from the world of real estate. I've been spending the last 30 years in the area of helping people find homes. And I have a special dedication because I have 3 core beliefs that I revolve my business around. And belief number 1 is that everyone should own a home. Okay. And just hang with me because you're wondering, like, what does this have to do with the presentation? But I really deeply in my heart believe that families that live in their own home have more stability, more security, lower divorce rates, lower alcoholism, lower drug, lower teenage pregnancy. I mean, I haven't even started talking about the money side of owning your own home. The average wealth of a homeowner at retirement is over $280,000 versus a renter between $5,000 and $9,000. So it's not a 2 times, it's not even a 10x, it's more like a 30x difference. That's how big the compounding of over time. So that's why my core belief stands at number 1 is I think everyone should own a home. And the beautiful thing about MWR is that they have provided a platform that regardless of a person's credit or past history, they can own a home in as little as 30 days. Number 2, my second core belief is that I believe that everyone should have a plan, a financial plan. Whether you call it a life plan, a financial plan, a business plan, but you have to have it in writing in order for you to be able to refer and stay true to the course. And the nice thing about MWRs, they also provide that platform, meeting you wherever you are, helping you to get to wherever you want to go with expert assistance. And belief number 3 is that I believe that everyone should own a business. Now, you don't have to be full-time self-employed, but I'm telling you that there are 2 tax codes in this country, one for the employee and one for the employer. And even if you're a company of one, you get to take advantage of the 400 plus tax deductions, write-offs, and advantages that a business owner has that the employed W-2 employee doesn't have. So why not participate in both, but have access to the best tax advantage that you can? So those are my three beliefs. And when MWR came along, and my special guest here, it's really nice because he was the one who, together with his team, brought this to me. And at first, I wasn't looking for anything else to do. I've got a pretty busy schedule as it is in the real estate, the mortgage business, and a property management business, along with my radio show. So it wasn't like I was looking for something to fill in the time gaps, but I did see the value in what they brought to the table, number one. And number two, I did see the alignment with what they were trying to do, which was to help people out financially. And that kind of excited me, because at that point, I no longer ever had to say no to a prospective homeowner. Whether someone got turned down for a mortgage or for any other reason, they get a second chance with what we're going to talk about tonight. So, Fernando, I hope I didn't steal the front half of the conversation too much, but it's really nice to share something that resonates, and hopefully it resonates with more people out there as well.
Most definitely, Eric. What I like about what we do and your three core beliefs, I think when we met and since you and I started working together years back, I've been seeing your background, your history, your reputation, and what you bring to the table. Obviously, Make Wealth Real was the platform that was waiting for what we have here with you, which is keys to home ownership. And it has been a tremendous journey. These 3 years that have gone so fast that we're about ready to show you what we're all excited about. So, Mr. Eric Wilner, let me see again what happened here. Wait a minute, what's going on with the PowerPoint? Just a second. It kind of froze on me.
That's the
One
fun thing
second,
about
Mr.
live
Eric.
presentations. You just never know. I call the internet voodoo. You never know how it's going to behave or who's controlling the
Yeah.
strings.
Okay, it did it again. I'm about to, ladies and gentlemen, we're live. So, Eric, thank you so much. So, there we go. All right, Mr. Eric Wilner, let's start here and let's start the takeoff. Thanks so much for sharing again. I took some notes, and those three core beliefs really are the value for someone, to accomplish their financial goals and dreams. So let's start.
Absolutely. And so MWR is a very unique and interesting company. It's the first and only lifestyle and legacy company of its kind. I'll bet you've never heard of someone offering a lifestyle and legacy guiding you to financial independence. Founded in 2017, we're already a debt-free multi-million-dollar company in a many trillion plus industry. The mission of the company, which, as I said, aligned really well, was to help everyday people experience true time and financial freedom. And here's the interesting thing, in your lifetime, if you think about it, the average American income is around 55,000 or so right now. That means that every 10 years, $500,000 goes through your account. Okay, think about that. Every
Wow.
10 years, 500,000. In 20 years, $1 million will go through your account. And by the time you retire after a 40 or more year career, over $2 million will have passed through your account. Remember what I said, the average renter ends up in life with about $5,000 to $10,000 in savings. The average homeowner, well, closer to $300,000. But just imagine if we had the financial education up front given in our schools, which it's not. Imagine if you had the education to be able to separate a little bit and allow compounding to do its thing. That 300 could easily be 3 million. And this company's vision is to create more financially independent families. That's the goal of this company than any other company in the history of this country. And we give you access to the same systems, strategies. And this is what tonight's going to be all about. It's about access to the right tools and the right strategies, the right systems, and most important, ready and affordable access to experts in taxes, CPAs, CFPs, IRS enrolled agents. All of that is part of your team once you become part of MWR. Back to you, Fernando.
Yeah, and this is what I understood from early on. I remember the four roadblocks we used to talk about. I mean, everything was so in alignment. In 31 years, Eric, that I've been a part of this industry, we were preparing for this moment. So when we came across MWR, it really made sense. But that missing puzzle that you brought to the table with your expertise is what has made this incredible platform such an amazing way to be able to help people. So I'm thrilled about it. And obviously, we do have potential of growth. So share with us a little bit about what the global finance has to, where it's at right now and where it's going.
Well, as I mentioned, MWR is a debt-free, multi-million-dollar company, but it's in a multi-trillion-dollar industry. The current market size, and I'm talking about financial services, is over $36 trillion, projected to grow over the next 5 years to over 50 trillion. To put it into perspective, this industry is bigger than Major League Baseball, the NBA, and the NFL combined. And so it makes up about 30% of the finance market, makes up 30% of the global market, just to give you an idea. And not only that, and here's another thing that I really liked about the company. What's our conversation about? Money. Who has a conversation about money every day? Everybody. And so the appeal is broad and it is universal. What we're going to talk about today, and I want you to keep an open mind, because whether you have $2 left in your wallet or $2 million in your account, there are going to be things for you here tonight. It's all about taking you to the next level, meeting you exactly where you are right now. You see, I was listening to an audiobook while I was running just before this presentation, and it's called The Money Machine by Mel Abrams, a CPA, a national speaker. And one of the things that he said that I thought was really encouraging, he says, there in life, there's really no such thing as first place or last place. There's your place. It's where you are. And that's a result of the decisions that you made in the past. Where you'll be in the future is all about the decisions you're going to make from today forward. So that's why this is really an opportune time. Be very grateful to the person who introduced and shared this presentation tonight, because like I said, you're going to hear about a company like no other, in a category of one, that does something that's very special, like very few companies could even possibly do. And yet, in the middle of whatever economy that we're in fact, we had great growth during the hunkering down phase of the pandemic. This is an industry that survives and sometimes thrives regardless of the market cycles.
Definitely. And I see, and I can kind of see the potential of what's going to take place the next 5 years and why our company is so well put together to be able to align everybody, like you said, in your place. There's no first place, there's no last place. Whether you have $2 in your pocket, $2 million, anyone in between fits in with our platform. All right. So our three-step path to wealth. Uh, Mr. Eric Wheeler, please share with us what is it that our company does and why we are so excited to be a part of our incredible platform when we're talking about money here. So what money is it that we're going to start using, and what is our platform sharing with us tonight in regards to what you're going to say?
Great question, Fernando. And here's the thing. If you really want people to be successful, you have to break things down to the very basic, simple fundamentals. And what I liked, you talked about the company introduced the 4 major roadblocks. We're going to talk about the 3-step path to wealth. Now, I want you to understand, saving your way to wealth rarely happens. That is not the pathway. It's all about investing your way to wealth. Now, many people have a hard time and says, well, it takes money to make money. And what the wealthy have learned is that that's not true. Or in other words, it doesn't have to be my money. I can use other people's money, OPM, as you often hear people say. But you can use the bank's money, and we're going to show you, regardless of your credit and past credit history, how to create the bank's money accessible to you for you to work. So, and we're going to show you how to get it with guaranteed access to unsecured, unsecured business funding. So that's step number 1. Use use other people's money to accelerate your growth. Number two, purchase income producing assets. We're not getting you credit so that you can go out and buy more expensive shoes, TVs, electronics, and boats, cars, and fun stuff like that. That comes later. The object of the game and how the wealthy become wealthy is that they invest first, accelerate, and allow compounding to do its thing. And then, of course, number three, then you can go on and share the good news, because we're going to talk about, not only are we going to show you the 1, 2, 3-step formula on how to create wealth. And regardless of whether you have $2 in your wallet or $2 million, regardless of whether you're 17 or 71, it really doesn't matter. You have right now before you all of the resources and the tools to make this happen. And step number three, share the good news. We're going to show you how to generate multiple streams of immediate and passive residual income by sharing this path, simply sharing the good news with others and get compensated to do so.
Yeah, Eric, honest truth, this information you kind of hear from a distance, you read it on books. And now that we are actually reading Cash Flow Quadrant, when I saw MWR, because I read that book many years ago, and it kind of makes sense, and I've used the strategies, but not to the detail until I saw what MWR has to offer. And this is exactly what that book talks about. And you read it for a Saturday, and it was just incredible information to see how our MWR, platform brings along a wealth of information, just like the Cash Flow Quadrant book. So I'm thrilled about this.
Yeah, and we can have lots of references. And by the way, one of the things that our community, as you mentioned, are doing is that we read business books and we share that as a community, comment and study it and feed off of each other's perspectives. But let's get back to step number one, right? Where are you going to get the money? Well, MWR has a very unique program called the MWR Fundable 360. This is where you can acquire business credit and funding without being a PhD in finances. You see, with our system, no personal credit is needed. We're going to show you how to create a second. And this is the other thing that I really got excited about. Not only do I have my own personal profile, whether it's good or bad, but I can now have a fresh start and create a brand new business profile. And you can qualify without using your own personal credit history, number one. Number two, it has a $50,000 minimum guarantee. Would $50,000 be a good amount to start your investment, especially if you have nothing that you're starting with right now? Here's an opportunity to get access to $50,000 in the near future, simply by following the advice of our Fundable 360 experts. They're not going to ask you for collateral. They're not going to ask you for a personal guarantee, but they are going to give you professional assistance throughout the entire process. So as long as you're a member of MWR, you have access to their guidance. Now, as I mentioned, they guarantee the funding. So they guarantee a minimum of $50,000. Oh, and by the way, when they get you the $50,000, it doesn't end there, because now that you've got some credit, and once you demonstrate your professional handling of the credit, you know what the banks always do when people are really good with their money? They give them more money. So we're just talking about the start, guaranteed 50,000 funding to start. And then, as I mentioned, ongoing funding that increases over time. The longer you do this, the more access to investable dollars you'll have, which means the more money you're able to make.
That's phenomenal here. I mean, the credibility that the company has as well, being a part of, being actually recognized through Forbes, Inc., 5,000, USA Today, CVS, Fox, Entrepreneur. I mean, it's phenomenal. All right, so should we flip the slide down, right?
Yes, please.
Okay,
I'll go like
there we
this.
go.
Click.
There you go. Just do that. I'll click
Click.
on it over here.
So, the next question I often get is, where do I invest that 50,000? What if I don't know how to invest? What if I've never invested before? There's the beautiful part about this. We have experts. We have a number of different financing platforms. We have a number of different investment platforms within MWR. As I mentioned before, I'm in the real estate business. So obviously one of my favorite things to do, if I had an extra $50,000 today, I'd put it right back into real estate as well. But we also have a precious metals platform, unique and different than most others. We're not talking about owning the paper version of precious metals. We're talking about owning the actual precious metals. So much so is that MWR and its partner are building their very own, like Fort Knox, repository where gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and all the precious metals will be stored. So imagine having that $50,000. What do you do next? You go out and you purchase an asset, real estate, precious metals, purchase silver, gold, platinum, and the other precious metals that you'll have expert guidance with you. Now, you store that, okay, because it's the real thing. You probably don't want that laying around in your house, but you store these metals securely stored in a licensed and insured depository, and then you begin to earn. How do you earn? Well, number one is that these metals that they appreciate. Number two is that we have experts that know things that most people don't, like how to generate monthly income through exclusive leasing programs. So while your metals sit there, somebody will pay you to use collateral and be able to say that is part of their financials. I've seen when people start out brand new companies that they buy the right to declare assets. Imagine you, the individual, having access to the kind of resources that normally the wealthy and big business only have access to. And again, those metals, while they're sitting there in the repository, they benefit from long-term growth that the precious metals are. And let's talk a little bit about, in the next slide, how the precious metals are poised. With inflation being what used to be called the silent killer, well, we talk about inflation probably about once a week on the news. And with inflation, what it's really put the spotlight on is hard assets, real estate, a great hedge against inflation, precious metals, a great hedge against inflation. In fact, as you'll see in this chart right here, the historical returns of silver, and we're going to talk about why silver is one of the special metals. Silver has over a 10-12% return over the years. Coming forward now with inflation where it's at, our conservative forecast is more like 18%. A moderate forecast might be more like 30%. And some bullish people are talking about the demand is going to grow so high as more people become aware of the importance of precious metals that you could see a run close to 60%. Now, doesn't matter where you fall on this spectrum. What we're seeing is that precious metals is a very viable investment to make. And I'll imagine having $50,000 of unsecured business funding, putting it into an asset. Let's take a look at what that will look like.
Eric, I just, oops, sorry about that. I went ahead another slide. What I wanted to, ask, based on what you study real estate in the economy, inflation, what is the average year that inflation keeps on moving up percentage wise?
Yeah, see, you're provoking me now, is that because that on my radio show, the government will tell you right now that inflation is under 3%, and now maybe coming back up to 3%. I'll tell you that whatever the government says, just double it. Even when they were back saying that it was over 9%, not even 18 months ago, that 9% was more like 18%. Look what has happened to the price of eggs, the price of, most things out there, construction materials all over the place. So the average inflation over history, they say, is around, 2 to 3%. You and I both know that that's not true.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's probably double that. And so that's why these hard assets, precious metals, real estate, and things like that are
Yeah.
so important to have as part of your portfolio. I'm not by any means telling you to be 100% in any one of these assets, but here's the thing. Let's take this example, just this example for now. Making your first $50,000 work for you. You start out, the bank gives you $50,000, okay? No closing costs. There you are, $50,000. Now, they're going to charge you somewhere for, and it varies, but let's just say that it's 8%, which is what's current right now. That would cost you $333 $1.33 every month on that $50,000. Okay, so that's an obligation if you take it. By the way, when you get approved for that funding, do you have to take it right away? No. And when you get it, do you get to choose where you want to put it? Yes, absolutely. So we now have $50,000. It's costing us $333 a month. We better put it to work. So what do? We talked about this leasing program where the income is about 1.5% per month on this leasing this precious metals. And that's how important that is. And that generates an income of over $750. Net profit to you, $416 every single month net after you paid for your borrowing expenses. That would mean times 12 is about $5,000 a year in brand new income that you didn't have with money that you didn't have and that you didn't have to put up of your own finances. Now, based on the last 5 years, average 13% appreciation on the metal. So you've got the income plus the appreciation of another $6,500. At the end of 1 year, your $50,000 loan bought a $50,000 investment, which is now worth $61,500. So even if you quit the game at the end of 1 year, you would have earned $11,500. But why would you stop a good thing if it's working? Let's take a look at, let's take this out a little bit. In fact, if you see behind me, the board, I have a coaching program in the real estate business called the 5-year career. And that's because we have mathematically studied that you could do what most people accomplish in a 40-year career, you could do it in 5. Now, we're going to show you right here with just this investment how to do it in 5 years. Remember, year 1, we're at 61,500. Year 2, the same thing happens. They give you an additional $50,000. You start that clock 1 year later. By the end of 2 years, you now have borrowed $100,000, but you have $138,065 in your return. Third year, $234,000. Fourth year, $356,000. Fifth year, $512,000. Now remember, 5 times $50,000. That means I could take my 512, pay off the 250, and walk away with over $262,000 in year 5. But again, my philosophy is at the end of 5 years, I'm going to look around. Is there anything better than this? If there isn't, let's keep going. And that's what a real investor would do. And here's your
Now, Eric,
5-year path to accumulate over $500,000 plus $4,000 in income. Go ahead.
Eric, I wanted to say in regards to what business funding, has the potential of doing in regards to generating business credit as well. I can only imagine, you estimating $512,000. What will your credit score be like, if you treat it accordingly in a 5-year time frame? Say if you're starting your business now, 5 years down the road, you have access to other people's money that you can actually leverage from, which is business credit and this investment rate of return.
Well, completely off script, Fernando. You and I both know that the United States is a giant melting pot of many different cultures and people who, some people have their social security numbers, some people don't have their social security numbers. Do you know that what we're talking about applies across the board? Any nationality, race, religion, it doesn't even matter. Money knows no difference, right? The money goes where money is well treated. So it's a very interesting point that you made there, because right here, we're just talking about assuming that the banks are going to give you additional credit in $50,000 increments, which in reality, to your answer, your business credit, there's believe it or not, there's a business credit score out there. There's the Paydex, there's the FICO for business. There's a number of different credit scores out there, and they don't just give you, $50,000 increments. They're going to, I estimate that it would be double what you're seeing access to. If you're paying this back like clockwork, like they're doing, they see that you're well collateralized. Because remember, you didn't go out and buy a boat. You bought an appreciating asset that generates cash flow. So to your point, my personal credit, which right now hasn't been affected by any of this. But chances are, if you've got great income coming in, I'll bet you that your personal credit now is also pretty good. So imagine having two ways to borrow money, two different credit scores.
Wow.
Then what we're talking about, you'll see, could actually be a very conservative projection.
Wow. I'm thrilled about the information, and I'm pretty sure that lots of folks that are here that are understanding and comprehending what we understand are pretty excited about it.
And remember, we said that this was a conversation that everybody is having every day, right? They're
Yep.
talking about money. And imagine, if you were to walk into any businessman out there and you ask that, how many people do you know that would like a risk-free way to accumulate literally millions in income producing assets without using any of their own money? I'm telling you, if the person doesn't lean into you and say, tell me more, okay, they're not serious. They're not serious. Either they don't believe you that that's possible, but like you said, uh, documentation beats conversation. And we have literally an entire wall of testimonials upon testimonials that of people who have used the things that we're talking about and have had great success. So who's your market in this business? Well, again, the answer is everyone. Who wants to
Everyone.
talk about money? Well, not a lot of people. Some people think the conversation about money is taboo. But listen, if you don't treat money well, it won't treat you well either. And it's the only difference that separates most people is access and education. And that's what MWR is all about.
See, and that's why the people that are, that are financially successful is that this conversation for them is normal. But for us that have average jobs, like where I came from, being a broke plumber, working too many hours for too little money, hearing a conversation like this sounds like too good to be true. But this is basically what the truth is all about. That's why the wealthy is wealthy, because these conversations for them is common.
Yeah, but instead of saying it's too good to be true and walking away, why not investigate? Why not take a closer look? Why not ask for more information? Read some of the testimonials, meet some of the leaders. You see, let's talk about this whole system, because remember we said there's three steps. Step number one is get the money, OPM. We now described how to do that. Number two, invest the money in a smart and profitable way. We talked about that. And then number three, I said, share the good news. Most people don't understand the numbers, the principle of economies of scale, of scalability. Imagine this, okay? Imagine if I told you that simply by telling somebody about your great restaurant experience, the restaurant is going to send you a check every time somebody stops in the restaurant as a result of what you said. Well, would you tell one person or would you tell many people? You would get on Facebook, you get on all social media. Got to go to Luigi's Italian. It's the best thing that I've ever had. The food is fresh, the cheese is grated at the table. You will describe it in such great detail. First of all, because it is good, right? Number one, if it wasn't good, we wouldn't even have this conversation. Now, let's take this to the conversation of money. Imagine if there was a way that you could be compensated. And thanks to technology today, thanks to the advances in the financial services industry and with MWR, imagine if you were to share it with one person per month. Okay, just one person. I mean, that you should be able to share with one person per day. Begin building your network of referrals and personal contacts. Now, obviously, if what you shared really was good, they go to Luigi's, they try it out, they're going to tell a friend, right? So let's say that you share it with 12 and those 12 people share it with six. Those six people then, now we're talking 3 generations later, start adding the number. They each share it with three, who then each share it with two, who then each only share it with one by the end of the train. Well, it's really more a question of time, because as long as Luigi stays good, people will be talking about Luigi forever. But that 12 to shares with 6 to 3 to 2 to 1 builds a network of 1,164 people. Do the math. Generating, in this case, with our compensation plan, which we'll share with you in just a second, up to $12,000 in monthly residual income, or I should say, at least $12,000, because you could make that and more. So picture this: you got $4,000 of income coming. Remember the example we just talked about, the precious metals. And then because I'm sharing the good news every single day, I now have $12,000 in residual income, referral income, passive referral income coming in every month. Add those two together, we're talking about $16,000 a month in income, Fernando. Now you tell me, what changes in a person's life with an extra $16,000 starts rolling in?
Lots. Freedom, lifestyle, zip code, the clothes you wear. I mean, I can
Whatever you
honestly
want.
tell you whatever you want. See, Eric, now that you're talking about referring, I be going to the same gym. The company has changed names 3 times. Now it's called LA Fitness. In 1988, I started paying that membership. I'm still paying the membership, and I've shared it with so many people throughout the years. I can only imagine, now that we talked about this calculation here, how many people have I impacted and haven't got a penny, not even a thank you for referring the gym membership. I mean, this to me is
Imagine,
phenomenal. Having
imagine
a
that,
compensation.
Fernando, just for the fun of it. Imagine if you had your gym referral income account, your restaurant referral income account, your movie referral income account. If all of the things that we always talk about, a great show, a great service, a great, anything, and
Yep,
that's what we get. So let's talk.
most
Let's
definitely.
move on.
Yes.
So the MWR referral advantage, as I mentioned, thanks to technology, we can track every single referral right to you, regardless how many layers away. Okay, there's no limitation. I could tell Fernando, Fernando could tell John, John could tell Susie, Susie could tell Mary, and it'll all come back and still benefit everyone up the line. You could build a residual income simply by telling the good news, referring others to the premier wealth building system of this century. Here's the cool part about it: because it is highly technology, it's paid daily. Okay. So, you do the work today, you get paid the next day. The money comes in very quickly. So you have daily and weekly bonuses that happen as well. So you have multiple streams of income coming in. So you receive what we call right now money for the right now bills, yet we're
Exactly.
building future money for future lifestyle and legacy, which is why we talk about this as the lifestyle and legacy company. Next.
I'm thrilled, man. Every time I hear this information, I feel like I'm hearing it for the very
For
first
the
time.
first time.
That's why
Yeah,
my
and it's
my
funny.
my
Sometimes I feel like I'm telling it for the first time. I never get tired of talking about it. We talked about making $12,000 a month, in our payment structure, and we're going to talk about that in just a second as well. We have a maximum daily income of $15,000. Do the math, my friends. $15,000 times 30 days in a month. That's $450,000 of monthly potential income. Multiply that monthly income by 12, you're talking about over $5 million. I smiled, you might remember, and I looked at this and I go, Fernando, this is athletes' money. This is athletes' money
exactly.
simply by sharing great information that I would share gladly anyway if they didn't pay me. But now, because I have access and vetted experts, I have access to all of these different resources, then now I can go out there and not only be happy about the referrals that I make, but also be happy about the income that I can make. I can do well by doing good. So let's take a look at this. Some of our friends call this their retirement plan. Some of our friends call it their revenue sharing plan, the income plan. I call it the income menu. Why do I call it the income menu? Pick your income. The only thing is a matter of whether you follow the math and do the work. Okay. If you're willing to roll up your sleeves, whether you do this in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or as some people have done it in months, literally,
Eh,
that went to task
Eric,
on this. Yes.
I've been referring the a membership of the gym since I was 18. Come on, you do this and you get paid, and you do it the way I've done it with that. I'm serious. I mean, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a compensation plan that you're going to enjoy using what the company has to offer. So who wants to keep the secret sauce formula for financial success? I guarantee you, you don't have to learn any type of skills. Learn how to navigate the system, and you watch how people begin to listen to the conversation. Like when I met Eric, I didn't explain all the details to Eric. Anna didn't. We just said, hey, listen, we found a platform. We want you to take a look at it. And we use the tools. And here we are, Eric, you and I having a conversation.
And you know what's funny? And I was just thinking, um, I went to school. I went to USC in Los Angeles, and I think is it on Bundy, the health club? It was called at that time Holiday Spa, which became Scandinavian Health, which
It's
then
still there. LA
today
Fitness now.
you and I are both members of LA Fitness, and I'm here in Florida, still using the same membership. And here's the very cool
Wow.
thing. You see, MWR has never raised the monthly membership fee on once a person is in. I am still paying $74 a year. Think about that. Now, granted, I've paid it for 30 plus years, but where can you join? Most gyms cost that per month.
Yeah.
Think about that, you know? So let's get back to the revenue sharing plan, because here's what's exciting. Let's say that you understand the 12 teaches tells each of the 12 only tell 6, and those 6 only tell 3, and so forth. Imagine if all you had to do was find 3 people. I'll bet you have 3 people that if you showed them the right opportunity, they'll throw you a few hours of effort a week and also spread the good news. Well, with 3 people on your team, that's it, just 3 people. 2 personal sales, 2 memberships, which by the way, you count as one. The company begins paying you a daily salary, okay? They call it the luxury residual of $5 a day once you have your first 3 people. That means you're making $150 a month, and that's going to be an important number later. Times 12, that's 1825. No big deal for, well, no big deal effort either, right? But if you do that, the company also has what's called a momentum bonus. If you look to the far right, if you do that in your first 30 days, the company matches the monthly income of $150. And so now you have $150 coming in per month. By the way, you got a bonus for inviting those 3 people of $50. So there's another $150. So we're at 300 plus the momentum bonus of $150. In your first month, you just brought in $450. And I guarantee you, the membership doesn't cost $450. So you're in the black in month 1. But remember, let's stick with the momentum bonuses for a second. So now don't focus on finding more people, the other 9 of your 12. Focus on helping your first 3 duplicate what you just did so that they can go out and get their 3. So if each of them got their 3 in the next 30 days, remember, each one is doing the work. You're just helping them, guiding them, coaching, and encouraging them. Well, at the end of the second month, you've been promoted because now there's 12 people as part of your team. You brought 3. You're now earning $20 a day times 30, $600. The company also, if you do that and help your first 3 get their first 3, will pay you an additional bonus of $450. So now in month 2, I made an additional $1,050 on top of the $450. So in 60 days, my brand new startup business with only 3 people at the head of the table is now earning $600 a month. Well, let's go one more month in this momentum table that you help the new incoming freshman class. Okay, each one of those 9 people are going to go out and get their 3 people. You're now going to have 36 people in your team at the end of month 3. You're also going to be promoted to what's called a 3-star executive director, earning $50 a day. That's $1,500. Now, put a bookmark in that spot for a second. $1,500 a month is now coming in, month after month after month, actually day after day after day. But here's what's happening as well. You're now eligible for lifestyle bonuses. Not going to get into those. You're eligible for what are called legacy bonuses for every single person. You can make anywhere between $30 and $150. But the company now, for helping that new incoming freshman class get their 3, will now pay you another bonus of $900. Just in momentum bonus, $1,500 in your first 3 months. You're now making $1,500 in your 3rd month. And here's the interesting thing. Remember I said about the sign here, the 5-year career. Most people work 40 years of their lives, and when they retire, the average Social Security check today in America is about $1,600. What we just recreated in only 90 days. Let that sink in for a second, that you could either double your Social Security or replace it altogether. I'll be honest with you, and I'm sure that you're the same. I know that Social Security is out there. I'm hoping it'll still be out there when I retire, but I'm not counting on one single penny of Social Security. It'll be gas money by the time that that I collect Social Security. But here's an opportunity. Here's your retirement plan. Here's your income menu. Do you want $50 a day? Stop right there. If you want to go on, how about $100 a day? How about 150? $150 a day is $4,500 or 54. Right there is the average income in America, and you could do that very easily. And that's only looking at the residual luxury residual incomes, not the other 7 sources of income that you and I both know and enjoy. Well, what's it take to make a 6-figure income? Because that's whenever I ask people, how much money do you want to make? Well, I want to make $100,000. It seems like that's a number that they pick out of the air. Well, pick it on the menu instead, right? All you have to do is be a 2-star regional director. $300 a day is $9,000 a month. Okay. That's income into your account. 9,000 times 12, by the way, is 109. So there's your 6-figure income. And let me tell you, at this level, you're enjoying $70. Every time a new member joins your organization, you're getting up to $70. You're getting $300 a week whenever 6 people join your organization in 1 week. There are several different income. What I have noticed, and by the way, you and I both know we have a friend in this business who is today at the $1,500 a day. Imagine 1,500, even if it was 1,000 for easy math, that means that you would get $7,000 a week. Okay, $7,000 a week. That's 28 to 30, no, $30,000 a month, because it's 30 days or 31 days. We get paid daily, and that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The money comes in. And that's why this is probably the most generous compensation plan I have ever seen in marketing. So, questions, Fernando?
Well, I mean, this income right here in 31 years, Eric, that I've been a part of this industry is what got me excited when I saw the compensation plan. The daily guarantee income. And I'm pretty sure we all like guarantees, right? Because some folks fear commissions, bonuses because it's temporary money for transactional business. But this right here solidifies the compensation plan and residual income, passive residual income. And you don't even have to get licensed. You don't have to be the expert. You don't have to be the one doing all the explanation. We got the tools and the resources, licensed experts and team partners like Eric who have, multiple answers to get you making a wise decision, an intelligent decision about our compensation plan.
And in all 50 states. So, last night I was at a networking event here in South Florida, and I was talking to a mortgage broker, and he does a good amount of business here, but he says my contacts and all of my relations and a lot of my business is in Philadelphia. Can I do this in Philadelphia? And I smiled and I go, absolutely, you can do it in Philadelphia. You can do it in Philadelphia and the other 49 states, plus in Puerto Rico, and who knows where next. But that's the bottom line. Then the most generous revenue program that I've seen anywhere. And yeah, go ahead. Let's go to the next slide. You got a sneak peek there. Another revenue source. We talked about the fundable 360 referral income. Refer any business, introduce or schedule any business owner. They don't even have to be a member of MWR. Introduce them to Fundable 360. Let them build their business credit and get funding. They'll have their own one-on-one consultant. and then let our experts do the work. You made the introduction, you get paid. As soon as they use this service, you get paid when they enroll. Now, this is one of the fun things here. Each person that enrolls in the Fundable 360 program earns you a $400 referral bonus. Okay. Refer them, let somebody else do the work. If you all you had to do is refer, how many people could you talk to? I mean, if you had to do all the work, you'd be limited. But if you all you do is you schedule an appointment with one of our experts, you get them that far, they'll do the selling, they'll do the closing. All you have to do is introduce them and let the magic go. They decide that they want to go forward with the Fundable 360. Next day, you get a $400 bonus. What's even neat is that if your team is doing that, there's a 25% matching bonus, meaning that if one of my 3 people that we talked about before introduced people to this, I would also get a 25% matching bonus. In other words, he did the work, he made the appointment, I did nothing, and yet I got 25% or $100. And right now there's a special promotion going on, but I'm not even going to get into that, because just imagine being paid off of, here's a real interesting thing. There's really in life, there's only 3 types of income. There's only 3 types of income. There's active income, and that's what we all start out. We graduate, we get out of school, we get out of the house, and we go do a work, whether it's salary income, paid by the hour, whether it's commission income. It's all your activity. You work, you get paid. You produce, you get paid. You stop working, no pay. Okay, so that's not my favorite type of work. Then there's what I call semi-active income. Like we talk about building a team right here. I did some work when I found those 3 people on my team. I did some work when I helped to teach them what I learned in this business. But after that, all their work benefits me, and that's semi-active. And I would rather be more in that field. But the best type of the 3 incomes is passive income. In other words, I do nothing. I do nothing. It's my assets. It's my money working hard for me. Warren Buffett once said, so long as that you're still trading hours for dollars, you'll never be financially free. It's when you reach the point that your assets generate enough money to support your lifestyle. And that's why we want to go from active income to passive income in as little time as possible. Because, and I'm not even saying that you have to retire or quit. Hey, if you love what you're doing, like I do with what I do, keep doing it. When one bank is full, fill the other one up. But do what drives you. What really turns me on is watching a brand new family achieve home ownership when, a month ago, they believed that it was not in their reach. It wasn't available to them because, those are the cards that were dealt. And I said, listen, I got a new deck of cards for you right now. Let's get working. Let's put you in a home. We have a keys to home ownership program, part of MWR, that no matter where you are, we'll meet you at the credit level that you're at. We'll meet you at the income level that you're at. Notice I didn't say at the credit level that you're at. We want to see where you are, because we're going to improve it. We're going to use you living in your home to improve your credit instead of improving your credit to live in a home. We're going to do things a little bit unconventional. And that's what this company really does. It's really, it's been a game changer. It's been a market disruptor, because now all of a sudden the average everyday person has access not only to the information that's not readily available out there, but to the experts that help you to implement that. So click.
That's what I love about what we have here. And what I like about what you guys do with keys to home ownership is when banks say no, what do we say
We
here?
say yes. That's
There
right.
you go.
So a quick review of the membership benefits, and there's too many to name, to be quite honest. In fact, I often refer this as the Costco of finance. Costco is this huge warehouse. There's so much stuff in there and great prices. Everything is accessible and affordable at Costco. Well, same here at MWR. We got the precious metals. You probably hadn't heard about precious metals leasing before. Access to MWR's exclusive precious metals and leasing programs for passive income generation. Remember what I said about passive income? The financial experts, to talk to a CPA, just as an advisor, you could spend easily $250, $300 an hour. I have an attorney that I work with, $750 an hour. Okay. Wow. Imagine having access to all of that and not having to worry about the hourly clock ticking and the cash register ringing in the back of your head. Financial experts, dedicated, vetted CFPs. I'm talking about people with certifications and licenses, so you don't have to have them, that are going to assist you with reducing your taxes, eliminating your debt, building your credit, and much, much more. How to invest. We're going to talk about bill reduction services. And what I'm talking about, without even changing services, how many times have you sat on an airplane next to somebody leaving from the same airport, going to the same airport on the same plane, but you paid $200 for your ticket and they paid $150? Why did they why are they paying less for the exact same result as you? Because they had the information, they had better resources, and that's what MWR does. We also have savings programs, special discounts on everyday purchases, everyday places that you go to help you keep more of your money. What about that? What do you think about that, Fernando?
I love it. It's just the fact that, see, when we have actually, when we're surrounded by experts that can allow us to understand exactly where to get the right information and save money, I love what we have. And obviously, I use this a lot, the savings program, when I do my shopping. Restaurants, before we go out, we plan our going out with Martha. And obviously, this allows us $150 guarantee in savings, in the savings programs that we have for everyday purchases.
Yep. So the average member savings, when you check out at Costco, in fact, even at my local supermarket, they always, at the end, they says, how much did you save today because you shopped at that location? Well, the average member savings in MWR, believe it or not, is $2,000 per month. Now remember, we're reducing your taxes, we're reducing your debt, your interest expenses, we're reducing the savings and so forth. These are documented. Again, remember, we have an entire wall of testimonials. These savings averaging over $2,000 a month in this month, right? So it's immediate financial relief while creating additional capital, because if I had $2,000 that I didn't have to spend on my everyday living, well, isn't that $2,000 that I might be able to start investing in my future and in my legacy? And that's the beauty of this program. So people all are asking, well, so how much is this membership? I'm surprised you asked. And so here it is. Here is the membership laid out, And by the way, look how easy this is. I'm doing this no hands. Fernando is drawing all the strings. All I'm doing is sharing the good news. This is exactly what you can do, or you can use folks like Fernando and myself, who 5 nights a week, we're talking about this somewhere, and we'll show you how to piggyback and use our effort, use our presentations, use our Zoom links. But here's the bottom line, right? The monthly fee is $149.97 per month. Okay. 1 hour with one of those experts could easily cost you a lot more than that. And I'll tell you that I use hours of our experts. So one thing I like about this membership is that I use it. I'm talking to the tax experts. I'm talking to the debt reduction experts, running ideas. Remember, all my mortgage clients benefit from that. Hey, if you're a mortgage broker out there or a real estate broker out there, this is an amazing tool for you to have in your back pocket. Never do I say that you're turned down. Sorry, you can't have a home. If the banks say no, I got a program. I got an MWR special program for you. Now, that $149 also covers your spouse, whether it's your marital spouse, your domestic spouse, even someone else living in your same home address. As long as it's 2 people, 1 address, 1 price, $149.97. So it's really like half the price, $75 a person for credit repair, tax reductions, bill reduction, the keys to home ownership platform, the precious metals. All of this is included for free with no contracts, no upfront setup fees, no gotcha fees. You and your partner enjoy all the membership benefits at no additional cost. And now you've got a workout partner to build wealth and grow wealthy together. Complete access, the same access for both sides. Unlock the precious metals purchasing, unlock the real estate, unlock the taxes. All of these things while your professional team of experts are doing the work. They're getting the licenses, they're maintaining the licenses in all 50 states. You keep the money you make, our experts do the work. Again, you enjoy the benefits. So just that alone, and remember when we talked about the business, let's talk a little bit about the business, because I told you that $150, which on $49.97, let's just call it $150 a month. Literally the price of a cup of coffee. I bet you a lot of you spend that at Starbucks, and Starbucks isn't building your wealth anytime soon. You're building their wealth. Well, let's skip the mocha latte and build some wealth for you. And let's talk a little bit about that, because remember I said that if you share this with people, well, first of all, MWR has a referral program that says if you refer 3 people who take the membership, they're going to stop charging you the $149.97. So now you and your partner get the membership for free simply by having referred 3 customers. Now, that's not even a business. That's just me and you sharing a good experience. But let's talk a little bit about the business, Fernando.
Well, Eric, I wanted to talk a little bit about what the membership has done for us here at home, real quick, okay? Because I know that a lot of people think, well, it's $149.97. When we first started it, we actually owe $30,000 to the IRS. We ended up using the services, and they were able to knock down 22,500 from taxes. We only ended up paying 7,500. So we either give a one lump sum payment for 7,500, or they say you can give 3 payments, but it'll cost you, $12,000. So would you rather do one payment or 3 payments? I said one payment, $7,500. So they saved us 22,500. Our cell phone bill, three lines. Our internet, we were paying 135 for our internet. It's down to $84 a month. Cell phone bill from $135 to $93 a month on 3
And did you
lines,
have to
just on
switch
that alone.
services?
Nope.
Same service, same level of service, same everything, just pay less. It's just like the airplane example. And that's what's available with MWR. But now let's talk about the business side of things, because this is what got me excited. I would have taken the membership and I would have been happy right there. But when they told me that for a one-time $100, imagine buying a business, not starting a business, buying an existing proven franchise-like system for just $100 to unlock all of those revenue streams that I talked about. So you start out by paying that $100. So in the first month, it's your monthly membership of $149 plus the $100. So your total startup for your brand new business with unlimited income potential is only $249. That means that you get the luxury residuals, the sponsor, the momentum, the lifestyle, the legacy bonuses, as well as the MWR Fundable 360 referral. Remember, that's $400 a pop, matching and additional legacy bonuses. Remember, I told you there's 7, 8 different revenue streams in here. And this is what got me, when I saw that chart, right, what I call the income menu, and I saw that athletes' money was possible for the average person. You didn't have to be an NBA all-star to earn, $5 million. And I'll tell you that there are people in this company right now, some of them right on tonight's call, that are on their way. They've got their eye on that $15,000 a day. There are banks that don't have the capacity to make a $15,000 daily electronic deposit. And so let's give them that problem. Let's be part of that interesting situation. But here's the thing, all of this, when you think about this, with a guarantee, right? We started out in the beginning, we talked about a 30-day money back guarantee. And look at what it says. If our experts' strategies and or opportunity cannot help you save or make more money in the first 30 days, we'll give you a full, and I like to say, cheerful refund. Think about this for a second. Remember, was 100 for 3 people, I was making $150 a month. So that would self-fund my business. If I made 3 referrals and then they stopped charging me, that means that 150 would be pure profit. I didn't have to buy or stock any inventory. There's unlimited memberships to give out. So all you have to do is share the good news. And again, for each person, there's no risk. You come in here, if there are expert strategies or opportunity. So the referrals could pay for your membership. The business at a level of only 3 people could pay for your membership. The first monthly momentum bonus would pay for your membership. This is a business that within 30 days, and now ask yourself, when 80% of businesses that start go out of business within the first 5 years, and in like 60% of them in the first year alone, imagine a business that you can go positive cash flow in the first 30 days. Most businesses are happy if they break even in the first year. In this business here, we're talking about not only breaking even, but being profitable. And then, the sky is the limit. Don't forget our fundable 360 also is guaranteed. If any business you refer, including your own, okay. And I'm saying I'm a adamant advocate of the
Advocate.
fundable 360. Say that 3 times. But here's the thing. Again, other people's money, unsecured business funding, by following our experts' advice and guidance, guaranteed you're going to get $50,000 or your money back. So everything that we've talked about today carries with it zero risk. Okay. Now, of course, over time, investments have risk, but the membership, 100% guaranteed, 30-day money back guarantee, as you see, the fundable 360. So now you come to a point where you have to make a decision, right? I told you that where you are today is a function of the decisions that you and the decisions you made in the past. Where you'll be next year, next 3 years is a function of the decisions that you're going to make right now. Here's the traditional path, as most people know it. This is what we're indoctrinated in our schools: to go to school, get a good job, go to work, devote 40 years of your life. You used to get a gold watch at the end of 40 years because your loyalty to the company. Who works for a company for 40 years? It's few and far between. To hopefully retire. A lot of those people, do you think that the greeters at Walmart, the people wiping the tables at McDonald's, are there because they love it and they have a passion for it? No, it's because that formula is broken. You're required to risk your own money. Today, you have to put in your own money into your own retirement, your own 401k. Gone are the days of pensions. You have to risk your own personal assets. You got to put up your own personal credit. You got to work harder if you want to earn more money. And the marketplace tells you, oh, a 5 to 7% annual return is a great return. I'll tell you, in my world, I don't get out of bed for that kind of money. I look at returns that have 2 digits in them. I told you about relying on Social Security. Most people are relying on a system that every year they say it's about to go broke. You're putting all your eggs in a basket that has holes in it. The 401k, we won't even go into the issues with the 401k. But I'm not here to tell you about all the problems. I'm here to tell you about the solutions that also exist. Number one, let's talk about the MWR path that we just talked about today. We're talking about using other people's money that we're going to help you to get. We're going to show you how to build retirement, that passive income, retirement income and assets in 5 years or less. We're going to use the bank's money with no risk to your personal assets. No personal assets need to be involved. If you want to throw some in, by all means, accelerate the path even more. We talk about leveraging assets, okay? Assets will become a common word in your vocabulary. And we're going to use assets and we're going to use other people to help you leverage your time, your assets, your money. And now we're going to talk about generating double-digit returns, 12, 24% annual returns. We have land banking. We didn't even talk about that, 36% returns. We have our diversified cash flow account, often in the double digits as well. The name of the game if you really want to learn the game of money, is that you need to enjoy passive income, residual income that you own, not somebody else and doles it out and gives you a cost of living adjustment whenever they decide to vote on it. But you own the assets, you own the income, you own your future. And once you have enough passive income to satisfy your lifestyle level, now go help a charity, go spend more time with your family, do the things that really move you, because now the money is moving you to that direction. So on that note, Fernando, what else should we talk about?
Well, the perfect business. Universal
Absolutely.
appeal. Everyone wants risk-free ways to build wealth without using their own money. And don't we have it here?
Absolutely. So I hope tonight, was informative. Again, get back with the person that introduced you. We're here on a regular basis to share the good news, as as you mentioned. Why? Number one is it's a good cause. Number two is it pays us. It pays us very well. So we're talking about money, finances, and your financial future and stability. Everyone wants risk-free ways to build wealth without using their own money. We're talking about daily income, immediate income, paid daily and weekly, that let you earn right now money for those right now obligations. And the experts to help you get those right now obligations in order, lower them, under control. The beautiful thing about this is a membership that has a very high, one of the highest retention rates in this industry, one of the highest payout rates as well in this industry. And as I mentioned before, it is epidemic, uh, epidemic and recession proof. Everything you need to protect and keep more of the money you make, regardless of the economic conditions, because you have now access to the experts and the knowledge and the tools and the strategies. So by simply sharing the good news, referring them to MWR and MWR refundable or fundable 360, you can help them make this dream a reality, which is why we call this company Make Wealth Real, creating a substantial income, not only for yourself, but for your family and your heirs. We mentioned the gentleman earlier making $1,500 a day. That's Mr. Brian N. Bean, who's now a full-time public speaker sharing the good news. This is he's a liberal arts major in college. Realized that what he had studied in college, the career path was that first path that we talked about. He understood, learned from the system. Today, he's created a six-figure residual income. By the way, he did that in his first 6 months. Remember, I told you, how far do you want to roll up the sleeves to your shirt? This income allowed him to purchase 20 acres of land in Georgia, which he affectionately calls Bean Acres, a condo in Dubai, precious metals. In fact, he is another one of the poster children of MWR. Speaking about poster children, how about Dr. Gerald Parker? I saw his name on the list. He's here tonight. He's also one of the original members of MWR since its beginning. Why is he still here? Well, he'll tell you the money MWR experts saved me, combined with MWR's residual income, changed my life. He was able to walk away from a $65,000 a year salaried income because he shared MWR with a few of his friends who saw the same vision. His network has grown now to over 500 people. And I think this is an old slide, but he's generating a six-figure income, residual income. So he earns that before he gets up every day, but he just loves sharing the good news. And now he shares it also. He has created a platform, a national ministry called the Kingdom Builders, where he helps churches to empower their members through good financial stewardship, powered by MWR. Then there's Charles and Judith Ivory, former military, retired from the military, went to go work in a government job, which then sent them home during the pandemic. Said, sorry, Charlie, we can't pay you right now. So it's a pandemic. The world is crazy. Sit tight. Well, he didn't sit tight. While the COVID was going on, during COVID, they were laid off from their post-military jobs, decided to devote that time to building MWR. There's another passive income-free family. The financial experts helped them to save over $2,800 a month. They became millionaire residual income. By the way, every single one of these guys wears a Super Bowl-like ring. Their millionaire residual income ring that they got in less than 9 months. That house that you see in the picture behind them, that's also an old picture. That house is finished, moved in. They're actually building more, and they're acquiring additional real estate. They have a dream home on the lake. And by the way, when his boss then decided to call him back, say, "Hey, we need you back here," he said, "Thank you, but no thank you. I found something better. I found MWR." What great stories, Fernando.
Wow. It's impressive to see what MWR can do once you make the decision to really look at this platform. And again, the cost of waiting can be very detrimental for your decision. So you want to make sure that tonight you make a wise decision for you and your family, an informative decision that Eric has shared with you all. I'm thrilled just to work alongside with you, Eric. I visualize our future so bright traveling the world. And I know that everyone that is here tonight has dreams and they have aspirations to be able to do the same thing.
Yep. We showed you in black and white these numbers, how to get to $500,000 with money that wasn't even in your account. Hey, if you're starting with money and good income, imagine what you could do with these resources at your fingertips. So get back with the person that invited you. Ask them any questions that you may have. We have a very supportive community here. So your next steps are get back with the person, join the thousands. Oh, you switched it on me. Let's get
Sorry
to
about
the
that,
steps,
Eric. The
the next
presentation
steps.
is a
No,
little
that's,
awkward.
hey, look, no hands. Get your questions answered out there. Contact the MWR director who referred you to this presentation. Again, if they don't have the answers, they have someone that brought them in the business and somebody that brought them in the business. The answer exists, and whether we have to go to the top, to the founder of the company. Choose your membership level next. Decide whether you want the lifestyle and legacy membership and nothing more. Put your finances in order. Like I said, average savings of over 2,000. Who wouldn't trade $2,000 in savings for the cost of 149? I'll do that trade every day, all day, even on Sundays. Next, complete your enrollment by referring or getting back to the person that referred you. They're called a qualified marketing director. They'll guide you through. It's in literally a 5-minute online simple enrollment process, an application that you can do in just minutes. And then sit down and look at what the next 30 days. Go get that momentum bonus. Go get that 150 a month. The $150 may not move the needle for you. It didn't for me, but it did validate the truth and the fact that this system works. And once I got that first 150, then it was off to the races. Then I knew that this company was for real and that the solutions were there for my clients. The solutions were there for me. And so, as you mentioned, it's been a few years now, and MWR has stood not only the test of time, but also the test of great services.
Well, at that note, Eric, it looks like we're pretty wrapped up tonight. And again, get back with the person that invited you. Make sure you get your questions answered. You get the community, you get the support, you got the leadership, we got the system. You have nothing to lose, but a whole lot to gain. So, Eric, I'll let you wrap up. I'm gonna actually remove the screen here, open up the microphones,
Yep.
see if
Like
anyone
I
has
said
any
before,
questions.
your life is the sum total. Thank you for all the wonderful comments in the chat. We love them. If you have any questions, you can throw them in the chat. But I always remind myself that every day, the result of the day is a result of the decisions that you made during the day, where you spent your time, who you spent your time with, what you decided to be involved with or not involved with. And so tonight, you have an opportunity to make a decision. For Gerald Parker, Dr. Gerald Parker, who, by the way, wasn't a doctor when he started in this business, it gave him the freedom and the ability to go back and get his PhD. It was a life-changing decision for him when the original founder of the company approached him with the idea of what this company was going to be. He trusted the founder, who is a serial entrepreneur, has had several $1 million businesses. This, he has declared, is his last one, but it's going to be his best one. His goal, his mission, and he lives and breathes it, is to create more millionaires than any other company in the world out there. And there's no better way to do it than through the financial services and teaching everyone to how to get access to the right knowledge to get the right. You see, it's a numbers game. Like I said, remember, $2 million will flow through your account in your lifetime, maybe more. What will you have to show for it? And what will people remember you for, how you handled those $2 million that went through your hands? Did you multiply it, or did you just spend it? On that note, I'll give it back to you, Fernando. Hey, it's great sharing the stage with you. Thanks for being the driver on the slides and everything. And it's always fun to have this conversation. When you and I get together, it's always a good time.
Eric, it's an honor working alongside with you, knowing you throughout the years, being team partners, friends. This is what I love about what we have, a community. And anyone that is here tonight, these are the kind of relationships you're able to build. No matter your background, where you're from, what you do for a living, if you have a passion to help other people, I can assure you this opportunity is definitely a great fit for you, your dreams, and the people that you want to help in your surroundings. All right. So the microphones are open, Eric, and also cameras. If anyone has any questions, please, or you want to say hello. Well, I'm the first one to say thank you so much, Eric, for allowing us your space tonight. I really appreciate that. So
My
again,
pleasure.
any questions? Anybody?
No, we got just nice comments. Either we answered all the questions, or better yet, they got back with the folks that brought them there, and and are following this very duplicatable, very repeatable, very scalable process. And if you do this consistently, and I'll tell you, if there was one word that would describe all of the people successful in this business, it's consistency. You whether you do this as a full-time business or as a part-time business, you just can't do this as a sometimes business. That will never work. But even part-time, you can see that, finding 3 people part-time should be very easy. Finding 3 more people again will continue to be easy. When I built my first mortgage company, I simply taught, and it's funny, I love the number 3. And I always used to say, I can't determine, if I was coming to your house, Fernando, whether you were going to get a mortgage from me or not. Might not be the right time, might not be the right day. You might not be in the right mood. You might be fighting, with your wife. You might be the dog bit you this morning or chewed up your shoe. All of these things I can't control. All I can control is that I come out here and I make this, this presentation, and I show you the information. Whether you buy or don't buy isn't what's important. And I decided that how I measure whether it was a successful thing. Did I do a good job? Yes. And did he buy? Great. If not, did he give me 3 referrals? You see, if I can't help you today, Fernando, who do you know that could use the Fundable 360? Who do you know that could use MWR experts at your fingertips? Give me 3 people, and I'll tell you, Fernando, that if I walked away, whether I got a sale, my preference, or whether I got 3 referrals, or better yet, a sale and 3 referrals, if you walk away from every meeting, or at least most meetings, with just 3 referrals, when will you run out of people to call? You never will.
Never.
And that's how we built our company. Is I said, just remember, I want you to walk out with 3 referrals, no matter what. If you make the sale, great. If it's not this, it's a numbers game. Don't worry, you will make the sale. But your list will never end. Even people who say, well, I don't have a lot of contacts. Well, imagine if you started with 3 people who gave you 3 people, right? Yep. And then you call those 3 people that gave you 3 people. Do you see, your list is only going to grow? And that's why this is, Amazon has an affiliate referral program. Coca-Cola has a referral affiliate program. you know, and every company that you see out there has some sort of a referral program, and that's all we're talking about tonight is the referral in the most talked about industry, the largest industry that there is. Don't you want to be a part of it? And that's all I have to say.
I'd love to be a part of it. And the reason why you and I know each other, Eric, is because someone told someone that told someone that told someone. And here we are together, working together as team partners. Ladies and gentlemen, people are out there. People that are looking for opportunities are out there. And your story could impact someone else's story. So there might be a person out there right now praying for this opportunity. And if you just open your mouth and say, listen, I found a way to make more money, keep more of the money that I make, and how to have my money work for me. Would you be interested in knowing more about it? Simple as that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to let you all go. Have a great night and get back with the person that invited you and let them know I am ready to get started. All right. So, good night. Thanks again, Eric. Bye,
Take
everyone.
care.
Great job, guys.
Thank you,
Bye, Randy. Thank you.
Good night, y'all. Sure did enjoy that. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Ron, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Elisa, good night. Anthony, great to see you. Gardlin Smith, Cassandra, David, Mike, Evangelina, Leonard, Kelvin, Pastor D, Malik. Hey, Cassandra. All right. Good night, everyone. Jameson, James.
Good night. Great
Good night. Love you.
presentation.
Good night.
Thank
Great
you. Good
presentation.
night, Lee.
Night.
Good night. Thank
Mike.